So, all right, let's get into it. So, y'all, it is day 30. We're on day 30 of this 30-day live stream that I gave myself to get my subscribers on YouTube up to 1,000 subscribers. And there's more people that was watching me do this than I realized. Like, I don't if people aren't commenting on it or saying anything when they see the video, I honestly have no idea. Like, I have no way of knowing like who's paying me any attention and who's not. But like it's been a few people who I was like, I didn't even know you was paying attention. I didn't know you was watching what I was doing. That when they said, "Oh, I see you are almost there," and just like cheering me on along the way, I definitely have appreciated that. But more than anything else, it has really surprised me because I have not been. I don't know. I haven't necessarily been doing it to get the encouragement, like, even though I do appreciate it, but I really wasn't doing it for the encouragement. Like, I was doing it because anything that I've ever wanted to get better at or something that I wanted to really commit myself to, I make it into a challenge. Like, that's just how I operate. I don't know what it is about my brain that makes it where if I just have to do it just because, it doesn't excite me. But if it turns into a challenge, now all of a sudden I have more of an incentive to do what I need to do. And like that's what this was for me because I knew realistically, and like anybody who's tried to grow or is currently on YouTube, like you gotta you gotta invest time on the platform. Like you really do. Like there's just no way around it. I know I've seen people who have like posted their shorts and then out of nowhere their shorts, it ends up going viral or it blows up and they have these big numbers that come from their video popping off. But one thing that I think people don't trip off of is just like outside of the numbers, you also got to think about what kind of community are you building over on each platform, right? And because we're talking about YouTube specifically, what kind of platform are you building? What kind of community are you building on YouTube? Because it feels to me like there's a lot of people who are trying to dominate, right? Like they're trying to dominate every platform. They're trying to be everywhere you're supposed to be when it comes to social media. And I use that with quotes, like where you're supposed to be when it comes to social media, and get your numbers up so that you can have the right number of following, or you can have like the aesthetics or whatever the vanity metrics do for you, like whatever that proves. And so i can get the I can get the concept behind um just like posting and just posting it just to have the numbers, like to have the platforms, like playing the numbers game. But what frustrated me throughout this challenge has been trying to gauge what the numbers mean. Like what do the analytics mean? What does it mean when someone finds your page on the homepage versus when they search for you? Or what does it mean when you have a high number of non-subscribers watching your content, but then they're not subscribing? Like it's not like translating to new subscribers. It is more so just letting you know that it's being shown to people, to different people. And like it's kind of the same way that I'd be looking at TikTok and how your goal for most people is like to get on the For You page. And so let's say that you do have a video that ends up on the For You page, and let's say just to add some extra seasoning to the mix, that it's also a video that ends up either going viral or just performing really well, but then your subscribers don't jump from those viral videos. And it's like, so what does that information mean? What is that doing for me? Because I've had a couple of videos that ended up going viral, and like I barely got 20 new followers from that, or like 20 new subscribers. So it doesn't, like, the visibility and the numbers don't always equate to an engaged audience. And so I think about stuff like that, that it's easy for you to miss when you're just constantly like create, 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 make, go, 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 put out this content. And so while the format of going live, it still is one of the easiest ones for me, outside of having to think about what I'm gonna be talking about every day, which has also been like a source of stress. But outside of that, like, just the idea of pressing the button and then just talking and going live, like, that part has been easy. But something that has, leaning back into what I was saying, has frustrated me is, in all of the creation now, I have to go through all this data and all these analytics to figure out, how do I make this better? Like, how do I improve this? Because there are some information that I got from my analytics that has me, it just has me, it guess it raised more questions than it answered. So I don't know if y'all remember, a few days ago, it might even been yesterday, I was talking about how I want to um I want to start experimenting with some different ways of repurposing my content, especially for next month, because I really am just not in the mood to be making a whole bunch of new content. Like, I'm not. I'm not. I did come up with a new idea though. Hey Adrian, I did come up with a new idea for the event that I was telling y'all yesterday that I would like to try. So I'm a test it out. I'm gonna test out the concept with y'all and see how you respond to it. But um going back to how to take all this content that I've created and make it like relevant. Like, how do I repurpose this? How do I take this and translate it into other forms of content? This is one of the things that I'm going to do, is I'm going to be taking sections of my videos, and I'm going to choose like the parts that I won't say that are the most coherent, even though like that's the word I want to use, because y'all, I be going on a lot of tangents and no one ever says anything about it. I just go on these tangents and y'all just be sitting here listening. So I'm like, how do I take some of the most I guess, like, relevant or the most, impactful, I don't know what word to use, but how do I take good sections of these videos and repost them so that they can be their own standalone video? That is that is what I'm looking to do with this content that I have coming up. And so I tried it out with one of the lives that I did a few weeks ago, where I was talking about content creation, the future of content creation and where I see it going in 2025. And I mentioned that I see long form content making a comeback. But even though honestly, I really don't feel like it went anywhere. It's just that short form became so popular that it felt like that was the only thing that people had the capacity for. But long form content, I see that being a really important form of content for people to lean into going into this new year, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities and incentives for people who are on different platforms creating this kind of content. And not only long form video, but also blogging. So taking your content, whether you're rewriting it or whether you're using AI to take what you said and create different written forms from what you said, which is something that I've been testing out a workflow for that I feel like I'm almost ready to share that, but I still want to do some tweaking so that the voice doesn't sound too professional, because that's what happens with chat sometimes. So I'm gonna try out something else and see. And then um those are the big ones. And then also podcasting, I feel falls into that category too. But the only thing with podcasting, y'all, is that um hmm, how do I say this? I don't think that podcasting is done, but I do feel like maybe we'll see with Spotify. I'm gonna test out Spotify and see how that does. But just in general, podcasts don't promote themselves. Like even the platforms that podcasts are typically on, you are still doing the heavy lifting when it comes to marketing, which is why people using, clips of their podcast or doing the video podcast as opposed to just audio only. People were doing those as alternative ways to market their podcast so that um they could get some new listeners. And so like it's not one of them things that just markets itself. So that's something that I would be interested to see what Spotify does on the marketing side to help out podcasters, because I know that they're going to be leaning heavily into the video podcast, which is in, I feel, direct response to how things popped off with YouTube. So, yeah. You said looking at what is valuable to them that is connected to your business. So, as funnel leading relationship, not a crutch. Yeah, you are right about long form. I heard that YouTube can now put content on YouTube TV, so episodes can show there too if selected. Oh, that's interesting. I have to look into that. I didn't know that about YouTube TV. Yeah. I feel like I'm I'm looking at the second, and let me see, because I saw them. I had to take a pause to read the comments. Adrian, your audience aren't always your clients. Don't convert. It's examining what they are attracted to, and is that thing connected to what you do. Yeah. That's definitely a big part of it. It's also it's also because that's still what's happening even with my long form content. I don't typically put out content that is not in some shape or form connected to my business or meant to attract people. And that sometimes is part of the reason why it is hard for me to come up with topics every day, because if I tend to go really heavy into just teaching. And I know that for one, I don't want it to just be a teaching platform. Like I'm really navigating this balance between educating people and entertaining people. And so if y'all have heard that term edutainment, that is where I'm experimenting with what that looks like for myself. And so but my content, it always leans in that direction. 9 times out of 10. But what I'm looking at is more so like, what does what does this content look like condensed in a way that still gives good information. Like it feels like it's its own standalone video. That's more what it is. Hey Don, that's more what I'm thinking about. Thank you. That's more of what I'm thinking about when I'm considering what parts of my videos to take. And there's another thing that I've been looking at too. So if y'all are not already using this feature, hey Don, if you're not already using this feature on YouTube Studio, then I would encourage y'all to look at the inspiration tab, because the inspiration tab will give you topic ideas for your channel based off of what it is that you search for. And what topics they see are the content gaps. And this is another thing that I don't know who was first. Like, I don't know who did it first, but I know that it reminds me, especially that whole content gap segment, it reminds me of the creator search insights on TikTok, where you can search up terms that your followers, not your, yeah, your followers are looking up. You can look up what's trending, and you can also find content gaps. And so those content gaps help you to figure out what is it that people are searching for and not seeing. Like, what is it that is like the holes, like literally the gaps that you're noticing in the content that pertains to what you do. And so the only thing that I'm not 100% certain about is if it if it takes into account what you're searching for or your audience. That one I'm not solid on what that looks like, but how I'm taking it is I'm seeing where the content gaps are, then and using that to inform some of the topics that I want to talk about for the following um time period, I guess. So it'll be an experiment with filling those content gaps. And I think that that's going to be more focused with my short form content than my long form. And I'm going to play around with posting some longer shorts. So shorts that are longer than the 60 seconds, even though it doesn't technically pop up it doesn't, when you upload it, it doesn't upload as a short. It uploads as a regular video. But when you scroll, it pops up on the shorts feed. So it's some interesting things that once you invest the time in it and create the content for the platform and then get your analytics and like figure out all that information, then that's how you're going to be able to use it and, use it to your advantage. But what I've been feeling is that I had to get this challenge done, and then I have to go back to the numbers later because it was it's still it's still difficult to pivot as you're executing it. And so I've had to, like, okay, let me focus on getting this content done and experimenting with as many different topics as possible, and doing different things in my videos. For the most part, I haven't done a whole lot of like different styles. Like, I haven't done a vlogging video or anything of that nature, or even like a live where I'm not at home. And that's mostly because I have the double setup. So when I do decide to do content that's not at my house, it's gonna only be like one platform at a time. 'Cause streaming on multiple platforms is just not it. It is not it. Like, it's not. It ain't gonna work, y'all. I cannot have this entire setup for traveling. So there's a couple of things on my list that I want to secure so that I can do more content while I'm out and about. But yeah, what's my biggest takeaway from doing the 30 days? That's a good question. So one of my biggest takeaways is that the consistency really did pay off in terms of growing my engagement. So before, and this is one of the things that tends to frustrate people when it comes to new platforms, is feeling like you're not talking to anybody, which was like a really big irritation for me. It felt like every time I got on live, every time I would create a video, it felt like it wasn't getting any engagement, it wasn't getting any comments, it was barely getting likes. And I'm seeing even like my very first creator, my very first brand personality video is got over 100 views. And when I did that video, it was during the live, it was maybe about like 3 people, 6 people max watching it. So like seeing numbers start to grow exponentially, it's been good because I can see, okay, even though in the moment this content is not getting those numbers, that engagement is growing and building. And then not even just the views, because the views still don't mean as much to me as the other. Um oh, welcome in, I'm glad you're here. It doesn't give as much information as some of the other analytics do, but the comments have also gone up. So one thing that I enjoy about going live and having these longer videos is that people can comment on them as if they're watching it live. So sometimes there'll be multiple comments on the video, but it'll be at different points in the video. And so even information like that is helpful because now it's showing me what points in this video are most interesting to people. Even if I didn't get that information in real time, I'm still getting that information. What are the things that people are pulling away from it? What stands out? And that is the kind of information that helps me to make better content. So I'm starting to see more and more of that on YouTube. Like, and I know some people can attest to this. Like you post videos over here and it's like if you get a comment, the comment doesn't come for like months. And somebody's like, great video, or I'm glad I saw this. Or it'll be a bot and they'll be talking about something weird, like sending them money to a different country. And so it just gets like, it gets very discouraging when it seems like you're not getting any feedback from the platform. So I that's one of the biggest takeaways that I can tell you is that each week my engagement has increased, and now it's got to the point that for the most part every day I check the app, I have a new notification or a new comment. So that kind of stuff has been that's been one of the biggest ones. Now one of the second benefits slash takeaways is being able to make adjustments to the content after posting it. So seeing how a video performs before I change the thumbnail versus after I change the thumbnail, or how the views increase before putting in chapters versus after putting in chapters. And if y'all are not putting chapters in your videos, even I mean, like I would say like even a video that's 20 minutes long, if it's past 10 minutes, I would encourage you to use chapters, because the chapters, it it, I've seen an increase in views from having the chapters on my videos. And I've also as a user noticed that I prefer to see the chapters, even if I plan to watch the video all the way through. Like I think that sometimes we feel like if we put in, or maybe this is just me, I won't say we, but sometimes it seems like putting in the chapters, there's like ego involved in it because you don't want to just make it easy for people to skip past chunks of your videos, right? But the reality of it is people want to be able to know what they're going to get from the video. What's the content in here? If somebody is watching my video on 1.5 or 2x speed, I'm not going to feel slighted by that, because sometimes you want to get the information and you also don't want to watch it in real time. I've noticed that even with not in this challenge, but just with some of my content, that I don't talk as quickly as I thought that I did. And I was able to speed up one of my videos to like 1.5. Um and it was still easy to understand me. I was like, "Oh, so I don't sound like a chipmunk." So that lets me know that it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to start speaking faster, because if I'm speaking at the speed that I'm at, is I'm speaking that way for a reason. And I'll tell y'all what my adjustment is going to be in a moment for that. Okay. But my adjustment is not going to be to start talking faster, because the speed that I talk at is the speed that it is for a reason. But anyway, but what it did show me is that there are things that I'm doing in my content naturally that may be a deterrent for people who would want to listen to the video all the way through or watch the video all the way through. But there are certain things that are missing that would make it more engaging or more entertaining. And so looking at those things more objectively. So one thing that I know was a success last time, like one of my best performing podcast episodes, and also one of my best live streams, was not even during this challenge. It was actually during it was a few months ago when I was recording an episode for my podcast, and I was doing it. I typically do them live on YouTube, and I had a nice outline of what it was that I wanted to talk about. And having that outline, having it be a blend of storytelling and then also having takeaways at different points, it ended up being one of the most engaging and impactful episodes I've ever done. And it landed at about like 35 minutes. Like 35 minutes, and it did everything that it needed to do, and I ended it at that point naturally. And that was, it was a pleasant experience for me, and I also believe that that's what made that video perform so well, is that, oh, I had a good idea of what I was doing. When I was telling the stories, I knew what type of stories I was going to be telling. I knew what points I wanted to make sure I brought out. I was able to articulate very well. And I still spoke at the same rhythm that I speak right now. Like, I didn't start talking super fast on it and doing that thing where, y'all remember when we only had like 30 seconds on TikTok? And we were trying to say so much stuff in that short amount of time. We were stressed, man. We were stressed. So you would be like, what do you do? Well, let me try to think of one. Your content sucks, and I'm gonna tell you why. So when you do this, this is happening. And when you post this video, you're not even doing a hook and you're taking too long to get to the point. So for that reason, people are not watching your video. So make sure that you go and follow me so that you can get more tips on how to make better content. That was literally how we were. Like, we had to speak in our content in order to try to like keep people's attention and have a good hook and have a call to action. Like, it just was, there was a lot of things that it didn't work for everybody. It didn't work for everybody. And navigated it well. But what I didn't enjoy about that after a while is that I like giving more complete thoughts. Like, I just enjoy giving more complete thoughts. And naturally, even for a short form video, 90 seconds is a much better time frame, where even though like 90 seconds is still not a whole lot of time, it was better than feeling like all of my videos were punchlines. Like, it wasn't working. Like, the flow was not working. So that is something else that I'm taking away from this as a possible adjustment for the future, and how I want to navigate live streams and give them some structure so that they can flow better, so that they can be more stable, not necessarily predictable, but more stable, and to have it be where I don't have to do a whole bunch of editing. Like, I wanted to naturally just flow and work, but not to the point where it's going like way too long or it's going way too far. So those are some of the takeaways so far that I have from it. And then I think that there's another one that came to mind, but before I talk about that one, I want to make sure that I do my shout out and talk about some of these businesses that I want y'all to know about, some of these brands I want y'all to know about. So the first person that I want to shout out is Kayla the Angel. Kayla is one of my clients, so I'm gonna always shout out my clients, y'all, because I'm just so impressed and proud of the work that they're doing. But Kayla has an affirmation guide, and her affirmation guide helps you by using 3 steps to write affirmations so that you can provide that self care that you need, that you can experience joy even in the midst of chaos, so that you can have the confidence that you need to go for the things that you've dreamt about, the things that you want to do, the things that may feel like they're so far off or they're impossible, but there's something in you deep down that wants it to happen. Affirmations are a powerful tool in helping you to build the confidence that you need to take on those challenges to make those things work. And one thing that I really appreciate about her guide and just the way that she does affirmations is that I literally watch her affirmations work, literally. And that was always my concern with affirmations, is that they felt very lofty, and they felt like it would always feel like there was this cognitive dissonance. Y'all know that phrase? Y'all know what that means? Where it was a disconnect between the words that I was saying and how I perceive myself, and it felt fraudulent to me. It felt fake to do affirmations. And so I really didn't um care for them. Like, I just didn't hold them in high regard. And even with me hearing and knowing that your words have power and the way that you think about yourself has power, and I understood that, but it felt disingenuous to me to try to. It felt like I was gaslighting myself, and I just didn't like that. Like, I don't like that. Like, I don't want nobody else to gaslight me. I don't want to gaslight myself. And so, but watching how her affirmations have helped her to take difficult steps that she really wanted to take and that were necessary for her to step into entrepreneurship, and to challenge herself as an artist and open up to it. It has been such a pleasure watching her. Like, it really did. Like, it convinced me. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and let me write down a couple affirmations for myself, because I'm literally seeing these work for you, and I want some of that too. So the affirmation guide, I if I was better prepared, I would have a list for y'all to click, like a link for y'all to click. I'm gonna start writing down the names, and I'm gonna do my best to compile a list of all the people that I'm talking about. But for now, her name is Kayla the Angel. And that's THE on most platforms. Only platform where it's THEE is on TikTok. But you can type it in and then you'll be able to find her across all of them. Another brand that I have really been enjoying, and I've been enjoying a couple of products from them, not the whole line, but I'm gonna tell y'all which ones I've been enjoying. So I learned about this company called Glow Melanin, and every time I look at Glow Melanin, I think about Glorilla and her song "Get 'Em Glow, Get 'Em Glow, Get 'Em Glow." That's what I be thinking about every time. Every time I think about their products, and I really do feel like they should do something with that song, because it would be a great marketing tactic. But they have skincare products, and they have a body bar, a brightening body bar that it has turmeric in it, and it also has some other ingredients, but the main lightening agent is the turmeric. And I was using that for about, I want to say, a little over a month, about a month and a half. And I saw my skin, like my face, I had dark marks on my face, like some acne scars that ended up lightening up. My complexion had a glow to it, literally, like it just had a glow to it. And it looked brighter. And I didn't recognize the change at the time that I was using it, but I put up some pictures, some side by sides, and that the difference was undeniable. Like you could definitely see that it was brightening it. So I would highly suggest their body bar. That's Glow Melanin, GLO Melanin. They also have a yoni wash, which is pretty good. But I just learned today because I read the instructions that it's not an everyday yoni wash. It's only meant to be used 3 to 4 times a week. So it wouldn't replace whatever you were using. I guess it would be more just like in addition to it. So almost using it like a treatment. And then they also have a body scrub, which is like a sugar scrub. It's not a chemical exfoliant, but it's a physical exfoliant. So it has turmeric in it as well. So you can use that in addition to the body bar. And those are amazing. Okay. Now they have a chapstick. Hey, Black Cherokee. They have a chapstick. Um, and it has turmeric in it too, but the chapstick is not my favorite, y'all. It's not my favorite. So I can't in good conscience suggest that to y'all. As it leaves like a yellowish tint on your lips that it's not flattering. So I don't know if it's been meant to be used at night or mm, but it's I wouldn't that one I wasn't tripping off of. Plus I didn't really need my lips lightened. So I was good on that. But you may have a different experience, but mine was that one in particular is not it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Let's see. Who else? Oh, while she's in here, Black Cherokee does healing sessions. That's not what they're technically called. So please tell me the name of it. But it is a healing session where she shows you what ancestors you have that are with you, who what message that is that they are trying to give to you. She helps you to identify what it is that you need to do in order to um, indulge in the areas where you need healing. For me, she emphasized that I needed to rest, which I definitely was aware of. And specifically, she encouraged me to get back into a consistent meditation practice, and to just do things that were fun. So, and I was crying like literally like the whole session. I was like boohooing in tears because I was like, I need to take care of myself. I need to do better. So the sessions are really good. Every week she has lives where she goes through the different um brain waves that we have and what happens at each frequency. And so there's a lot that you can learn from just sitting in her live. So she is another person that I would highly recommend getting connected to, especially if you are in a place where you either are a healer or you would like healing for yourself just personally. um Okay. I'm gonna pause on that for now. I gotta write down who I said. I'm gonna pause on that for now. So I said Glow Melanin, said Black Cherokee, and then I'm gonna do a couple more after I talk a little bit more about the challenge and what my takeaways from it were. So another thing that I realized is that the shorts really do help with your subscribers. I'm still not sold though on its connection to your long form content. And I know that some people will say, well, it if it's helping to grow your channel, then why does it matter? And I totally get that perspective. But one thing that I have to figure out just for myself to be able to continue to do something is I have to figure out the system behind it. And it has to make sense why I'm doing this. Like everything has to be connected, which was again one of my frustrations with doing this challenge and going live every day is that I didn't feel like I had a lot of time to make adjustments and pivot, right? And like take in new information. It was really more about implement what you know and learn from it. So, which it helps me to get out of my head, but it doesn't help for me to learn the systems in the moment. But there are some systems that I did figure out that helped me to consistently create content for the past 30 days. And so I'll talk about that too. But the I'm just still not sold on how outside of letting people know what your content is and outside of it being the visibility for your channel helping you to get more subscribers. I'm not 100% sold on anything else past that, shorts wise. Like I don't see them. I see them serving a purpose for sure, but not in a major way. So that's something that I'm still figuring out what that's going to look like, and I'll understand more as I create some more short form content that is not just fashion content, because a lot of my shorts have just been, my utada, which is my outfit of the day, or OOTD, and I just pronounce it utada. So if you don't know, now you know I have my utadas. And then I have a couple of like vlog type videos, but that's it. Hey friend, y'all Thanksgiving video was really cute. I love that y'all was coordinated. So yeah, some shorts I see connect to the long form video it came from by press the right below the title. I'm not sure how to connect the two though. Oh, there's a play button. Oh, I have not seen that yet. I have not seen that yet. Yeah. I'm not getting it. It still feels like there's so much mystery around shorts. It's so much mystery. And yeah. So okay, so let me talk about some of the things that I've seen when it comes to shorts. So a lot of shorts that I see, especially when like I watch my son watching different videos, I see a whole bunch of like randomness. Like it literally feels like, thank you, friend. It literally feels like the videos don't have anything to do with anything. Like they really just kind of stand alone as their own, entertaining, funny, informative kind of video. And that's one thing that I've seen. Another thing that I've seen that I know for sure will help to grow subscribers is when people either react to popular videos that are already on YouTube, or when they report on trending topics or popular topics. So like one person I saw, all of her shorts were her reacting or like stitching or duetting other videos, and they're like almost like the ones, how people will have like a talking video. It'll be like a clip from some podcast interview on one side, and then on the other side it'll be something completely irrelevant to the video. Like it'll be somebody crushing chalk, or what's that powdery stuff that people do for ASMR, or it'll be somebody like cooking food, or shaving soap. Like it's like random things. And so you're listening on one side, and on the other side you're watching something that's completely unrelated. And so that's the type of content, just to give you a visual, that's the kind of content that I've been seeing people do to quickly grow their YouTube. So I think that I mean, I know that it's an effective strategy, but I'm still um and maybe it's to a fault, but I'm still like, is that gonna get me the kind of people that I'm interested in having on my channel? Or is that more like I created this channel? Hey Sharice. I was just talking about you yesterday. I was talking about your event, your vision, like the vision board. Is it gonna be a board? I was just talking about how impressed I was by it. I really liked that event. And I was shouting that out. No, I did not make the 1,000. I'm at six. Last time I checked, I was at 684. So still in the 600s. Still in the 600s. And this, I do want to talk about that. I do want to talk about that. Let me make sure I finish my thought on the shorts. So those are the two main ways that I've seen people use shorts and and use that to grow their channel. But it's just something about it. It's just something about it that feels like, I don't know, like low quality. I can't put my finger on it all the way, but it's something about it that is like, I'm not, I don't like it. I don't like it. A manifest your best menopause vision board event. Oh, got it. Okay, that's the name. So the event that I was talking about with the menopause wellness coach, it's called Manifest Your Best Menopause Vision Board event. And she is a menopause wellness coach. She also has a menopause wellness journal that helps women to navigate their menopause journey. And so this event she's putting on is going to be in December. It's going to be in person. I know you said in person, and then I think it's going to be a virtual aspect to it too. And so, if that's where you are in your journey, and you want to, instead of just letting it happen to you, you want to actually have a vision of what that'll look like, how you want it to go, what your plan is going to be. Maybe you need a menopause wellness journal because your body's doing some stuff and you're not understanding why it's happening or what's going on. Oh, and most importantly, y'all, it's January 19th. Oh, okay. Thank you for correcting me. It's January 19th. So you have time to register for it. One thing that I will say is if you have never received education on menopause, I would highly encourage you to get connected to Sharice. Her name is But My Vag Still Works. She's on TikTok. She's also on YouTube. She's also on YouTube, and she is always sharing information, sharing her journey. She has women up regularly on Sundays talking about their experiences, and they're all in different places as women experiencing menopause, and they're sharing what they're learning, what they're drinking, what they're eating, how their exercise routine may be changing or just developing. And so it's a very communal aspect, and it puts the education and the community back into our experiences as women. And so even if you're not like, even if you're close to it, or like that time is coming around, I would encourage you to get connected to her, because the more that you know sooner, the better. And even if it's already past that point for you, you've already experienced it, it's still an ongoing journey of discovery, which Sharice can speak to better than I can. And it is good to just be around people who get it and to get that information. So make sure you get connected. Yeah, of course. Of course. I was definitely going to shout that out. Um Another one of my clients, y'all. Aren't they the coolest? Y'all are the coolest. I love each and every one of y'all. Like seriously, I do. I love the people that I've been able to work with. So, but I wanna touch on the fact that I didn't reach the 1,000. And oh, thank you, Cherie. She said, yes, I highly recommend her services. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. One thing that I'll say honestly about the challenge. Hey Cece, Shari. I I am so I'm okay with the fact I'm genuinely okay with the fact that I didn't get to the 1,000, but thank you, Sharice. I gotta say this last part, and then I'm definitely gonna get into how I feel. She says she's the reason I'm confident in going live. Yeah, I was like, you gotta go live. You gotta go live. I know how it is. I know how intimidating it can be, but you gotta go live. And she has now created a consistent community with other women by going live. Like, that's just so dope to me. Like, it's just still there's so much power in it, y'all. So, if it's not a part of your strategy in any way, I would really encourage you to figure out what does it look like for you to go live? Like, how does like is it going to be a challenge like how I did? Is it need to be less frequently, but you're committing to it and you're letting people know the time and you're promoting it? Like, what is that going to look like? Because it is really, really one of the best ways to just get connected to people and talk to people and create that space. So definitely get live stream in your life. Okay. You drink some water. Thank you, Shari. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I'm proud of finishing. If I'm honest with y'all, there was like no part of me that felt like I wasn't going to finish it. It's like it's hard to I guess it's hard to talk about because what I'm looking for from it is not necessarily what I feel like everybody would get out of a challenge like this. Like this challenge, like I said before, this is my third time that I can remember, my third time doing a live stream challenge, like a legit like live stream challenge, going live every day for a set period of time, right? The only thing that's different about this one is that my previous ones were 21 days and this one was 30. So I'd already proven to myself that I can go live consistently, right? Like that wasn't the challenge for me, even though every day for the most part brought its own challenges. Like it had its own headaches. But I knew that I was going to be able to finish the challenge. But the thing that made this challenge more intimidating. Thanks for the follow, y'all. That made this one more intimidating for me. The aspect that was intimidating was having a goal attached to it and being public about that goal, right? Like sharing it, letting people know this is my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. Can I do it or not? You know what I'm saying? Like doing that and not reaching it, that was the part that was the intimidating thing for me. And the fact that I didn't reach it, it had me wondering, um, it has me wondering two things. First thing is there anything that I could have done differently to reach that goal? Right? Like did I give it my best effort? Did I put my best foot forward in this challenge or did I cut corners, right? And looking back at how I navigated it, I put out a video every day. There's literally only one day where I didn't put out a video. And that's just because I forgot to, but I put out a short video promoting the live. I have gone through and created thumbnails for each of them. I've changed the titles. If the title didn't work afterwards, I've added descriptions. I've gone back and put the links in that I mentioned. I have experimented with different topics and tried different formats, tried different things. I have I honestly I don't I feel like I left everything on the table. And so the fact that I didn't get to the 1,000, it wasn't for a lack of trying. And so that is that's not like it's not the easiest thing to deal with. Like I do feel a way about it, but I think that I made the disappointment or the possibility of disappointment much bigger in my mind than the actual point. Because there was a point a few weeks ago where I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get to 700. Like at this trajectory, I don't think I'm going to get at 700. And so it was like I was seeing it, like I was seeing where it was going, and it still didn't stop me, and I still didn't cut corners. I still showed up and did what I needed to do. So I don't know, like it is frustrating when it feels like your best effort still didn't help you to get what you wanted, but I'm also aware that even when I did it, when I first like created the challenge for myself, that how many subscribers I had by the end of this was never up to me. Like it was never for me to determine and to make that the goal. I knew that that was like a possibility basically. And so the thing that I'm most proud of, first is promoting it. Hey Lloyd, the first thing is promoting it, right? Literally every day, and expressing this is my goal. This is what I'm doing. Uh Even when I felt like I was not going to reach that goal. The second thing that I'm proud of is that I didn't cut corners with this. Like I still treated each video like it had the potential to go viral, or I knowing that someone was going to come back to this one day, and they were going to need to know the chapters. They were going to need to know where what the video was about, like, or the thumbnail needed to be more specific. Like I knew that putting the time into the quality of it was going to be important. I've had my locks for it'll be 5 years next year. If my consistency is too consistent. I yeah, I'm y'all like I'm I'm good on this. Like I don't know how I would feel about doing another one. Like I feel like the biggest inspiration for me in doing another one, I would be in knowing that me showing up and committing to something, it excites other people. Like it's a weird place to be in. It's a weird place to be in. But all that to say, I'll get to the 1,000. Like, I don't know when, but I'll get to it. And I'll still be experimenting with content, different forms of content, not just going live. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. We see where it goes from there. Thank you. Thank you. Would I'm trying to think if I would recommend, I would recommend trying this challenge out. Um, not to get 1,000 subscribers, right? Like I would I would say that it's still possible to. You absolutely could, especially if you already have a really good idea of what kind of content you're going to be creating. There's a fear of feeling like we're going to run out of ideas. Oh, that's a good question. How was your experience coming up with new ideas each day? That's a good question. Okay, I'll answer that one, and then I'll go back to what I was saying. So when I was doing the brand personalities, that was, I think, the one of the most comfortable time frames. But then okay. That was the most comfortable content wise because I knew exactly what I was going to talk about each day. So I had 12 days basically of content because I had written those posts, I'd written those blogs months ago. Um and being able to come up with ideas for each personality, that was the part I think during that chunk of time where I was worried that I was not going to come up with an idea. I was like, man, how am I going to dress like the citizen? How am I going to dress like the creator? How am I going to dress like the sovereign? Like that was like the most challenging aspect of every day during that time period. And each day I surprised myself because I'm like, I came up with another outfit. I legit came up with another outfit. Hey Sandra, and it surprised me every day. I was like, wow, I was literally able to come up with something every day for this. And what it showed me is that the creativity is endless when you have certain things, certain systems in place to assist your creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, in the aspect of the brand personalities, knowing what I was going to talk about, what brand personality I was going to talk about, that having that structure and that framework allowed me to be creative in other ways. So be creative with my thumbnails, or be creative with my outfit, or be creative with the references that I use to each brand, because a lot of that stuff was just, off the cuff. And so I was able to see how having certain structures, having certain systems gave me more freedom to be creative. And it even though, like, especially towards the end, I felt like I didn't know what I was going to talk about each day. I was able to pull inspiration from so many different places. Like, just knowing that for sure I got to go live. I know that I'm going to talk for, on average, I've been talking for at least an hour. So I knew that I was gonna have a considerable amount of time to just like talk and get the ideas out. But having, even knowing that I was gonna have to go live. So that's the content I'm making today. I'm going live. Having that decision be made, it freed up my mind to just come up with different things and different topics. And so there will be some days outside of the brand personalities where my inspiration came from a thought that I had about something I saw while I was scrolling, or something is trending, something happened recently, like when I started talking about the Kiki Palmer stuff, which the Kiki Palmer was probably one of my favorite lives, y'all. Like, it's up there. It was one of my favorite lives, even outside of the brand personalities, because some brand personalities I had more fun with than other ones. And I really love the Kiki Palmer one. And then I also enjoyed the Black Friday conversation that we had. And so my ideas, I was realizing I have so many ideas. I have so many things that I could do. I have so many things that I could talk about. Like, there's this like underestimation that we have of what we're capable of and what we can come up with, how creative we can be, how innovative we can be, how consistent, how resilient we could be, because we're not giving ourselves the proper structure to flourish in that way. Like, I think that honestly, we make it harder on ourselves when every day or every week we're trying to figure out all of these different things that we got to do. Like, we're making all these decisions. I forgot what the number was for how many decisions we make in a day. If anybody knows that offhand, let me know. Welcome back, friend. But we make so many decisions every day. like so many decisions. I really wish I had the numbers so I could say it, but I don't remember what it is right now. And so when we when we don't alleviate some of that decision making in the moment, it starts to bog us down. And that is why we feel like 33, 33 to 35,000 decisions. Oh, that's ridiculous. A day? Oh, that's ridiculous. That's the average? That's so many decisions. So, and it like and we really don't realize it until we stop and reflect. Y'all, like, that's you really don't realize that you're doing so much. You're having so much happen. So, yeah, that's one of the biggest things that I realized, that I got way more ideas than I have enough time to run out of them. Hopefully that statement made sense. But we have less time on this earth than we do ideas. That's the gist of it. And not in a morbid way, but in a, like, no, we it's abundantly, exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ask, think, or imagine. That's how many ideas we got. We got so many ideas. Decisions include what to eat, what to wear, what to do. Yeah. Yeah, like this has been like, honestly, sometimes y'all, I just be in here like having brain dumps. Like, this is my brain dump session. Get the ideas out of my head, talk them out, and then leave them there, and then pick back up what I feel is necessary. So that's been a really big benefit that I've learned. And then Adrian said it sounds like it can help with self trust and self compassion, loving yourself through the process. That is beautiful. I definitely can see it being a way, especially when it comes to the self trust, um, compassion, the compassion for sure, and just the giving, like, you're in a way you are letting go of control, but you're also, there's still a stability that's there, that's hard for me to differentiate, what the difference would be between the stability and the control. But like, I guess the self trust definitely has been built because I didn't give myself the option to opt out. Like, this is the idea that I had, this is the concept. How do I make this work each day? Like, what does that look like? And just the creative problem solving that comes from that thought process. So, yeah, it's definitely been good, y'all. It's definitely been good in that regard. Um, before I keep going though, let me drink some water first. I want to shout out Adrian. Adrian, can you tell me the name of your actually, don't do that. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. So Adrian Calloway, she has been, I don't know which brand personality you came in on. Hey Andrea, but you have been consistent with it ever since. You have been showing up. Um and I really do appreciate that, but that's not what this is about. So Adrian is a life coach. I'm finding it so I can pursue her. That is the name of her coaching business. Um it says that she is a purpose and flow coach for high achieving women with a business. And the business is called Pursue Her. I'm reading the emails while I sound a little robotic, y'all. Hey. So, if you want to learn more about her, you can go to Pursue Her Today. Um, and you can learn all about her services and what she can do to help you. Testimonials. I was really intrigued by your desire to work with high achieving women because one of the things that I know high achieving women struggle with is one of them is that self trust, that compassion, and that ability to feel like anything that they're doing is good enough. And so I would imagine that in your business, in your services, you help them to navigate that in a way where they don't lose that ambition or that drive, but they also don't lose themselves in the process. Let me know if that resonates with your mission and what you do. I'm really just gathering from what I read that's in alignment. So let me know. Let me know. She says that she has some Black Friday prices. I don't know how far let me know if the prices go beyond November. But they include a complimentary discovery session. So you can have a session with her and you can see if it's a good fit for the both of you and connect with her that way. Yes. Okay, good. She says, I help high achieving women move from performance to purpose. Period. I love that. And then also, Andrea, natural hair care extraordinaire. Drop the name of your business again, Andrea, so that I can shout that out. Oh, no, I see it. I see it. Maybe for you naturals, right? So that's MAE, the letter B, the number 4, the letter U, naturals. I'm gonna definitely have to put that in the I'm gonna have to put that in the description box. I'm gonna drop that down there for you. And not Adrian, Andrea, she specializes in natural hair care products, helping men and women to not only embrace their natural hair, but to learn what products and things help it to stay healthy, help it to grow, and using responsible ingredients in those products so that you feel good about what you're putting in your hair. Now, it's one aspect of her business. She is also adding on services where she's going to be helping certified stylists. So, helping them to brand themselves, helping them to fill in those gaps that they didn't get in cosmetology school, and helping them, most importantly, to learn how to take care of textured hair and to navigate what that looks like in a way where you're promoting, and this is what I feel like, Andrea, so if I'm saying anything wrong, please correct me. But what I gathered from what you said when I was listening to you break this down is that your emphasis is not on certifying natural hair stylists necessarily, but helping stylists not only to care about their clients' hair, to have that integrity that is necessary to not only have a sustainable business, but to also have clientele that keeps coming back to you because you actually care about their hair and they're not just a number to you. They're not just another client to you. But then also helping them to know how to take care of our hair in a way where regardless of what style or what color we're trying to have in our hair, the integrity and the health of the hair is not being sacrificed, right? Okay. Yeah, that's what I felt. That's what I was gathering from all of that. So, I absolutely love that, especially being the niece and the cousin of cosmetologists. My aunt was a cosmetologist, and my aunt was my very first employer. She hired me to work in her shop over the summer, and that was how I was able to like get my first paychecks and start getting an idea of what entrepreneurship was all about. So like I really do attribute my love for business impart to her, because that was my first example of entrepreneurship growing up. And then shortly after that, my cousin, she has been a cosmetologist for at this point it might be about 20 years. Yeah, 'cause I was a teenager when she started. Actually, I was a little bit younger than that when she started. So she has been an entrepreneur full time for decades, and she is actually getting into business coaching now. And she is, y'all, when I tell you she is on it, okay? She is on it. She's been my unofficial accountability slash coach for a long time. We always check in with one another. She'll be like, "Okay, what are you doing today? What's on the agenda? What's happening?" And so I've been able to be on the back end of her getting all of this going. So she's created a course, and she's also has I think that she's filled up all of her spots right now for mentees. However, when those do open up again, I'll ask her what that looks like. And so, if you want to get coaching from someone who has literally sustained her life for decades as a business owner, that is really good experience to get from somebody who's like, okay, what you doing today? What's happening? She has a lot of knowledge on building a business, staying in the business. Her name is her business name. Hey Palm, her business name is Pivot Pilot. Pivot Pilot. So you can find her right now. The page is on Instagram. So you can find her on Instagram at Pivot Pilot, and you can learn more about that. Um, and then you can also check out the course, see what services she has coming up. But that's another good resource for business coaching. All right. Oh, making sure I read everything. Providing written agreements. Oh yeah, providing written agreements, not doing everything verbally. Be more personal with them, make a memorable experience. This is me reading what Andrea says her mission is for her services. So yes, and then also coming back to Adrian. Adrian said that she's going to honor the prices for her services through December. So if you want to work with a coach who can help you to wait, let me go back so I can read it the way that you said it. Yes, so you can, if you're a high achieving woman who wants to move from performance to purpose, that is the person that you want to go to, and she has a special deal going on throughout December. All right. Okay. My next shout out is going to go to Palm. She's in here now. Palm is the owner of Black Swan Tea Emporium. She is also the head misfit at Marvelous Misfits. And it is all about the people who are used to being, well, let me speak on the teas, because that's the teas is what you can get right now. But Black Swan is about dessert teas that are handcrafted, that are created by somebody who's not just putting teas together, but is really intentional about creating an experience around teas. Something I thought about, Palm. I'm gonna share it with you in our Telegram. Uh, something around royalty and tea, but uh, I won't get off track with that. And so she is relaunching for a limited time until supplies are out, her dessert teas. And so her tea blends are their unique blend, and they are specifically for people. They're not herbal teas for like medicinal purposes, but it's dessert tea, which is something that I had never heard of until she said it. But these teas are like this tea, you're literally just being fancy. Like I don't even know how else to say it. You're literally just being fancy. Like it's like I'm not in a rush. I got time. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna enjoy this tea. It's going to be decadent. It's gonna be delicious. It's going to be flavorful, and I'm just gonna sit and savor this moment. And it's all inspired by her upbringing and how tea time was a moment. You know, it was a moment to just sit still, to be present, to be in the moment. And so she's bringing that feeling back with her teas. And so they're going to be launching very soon. She's going to have some new special seasonal blends that are going to be coming out. So you're going to want to make sure that you're connected to Palm. You can find her. She is the lifestyle recreator on TikTok for sure. If that's your name on, oh, you have a herbal blend. Oh, let me correction. She has a herbal blend listed too. But the dessert teas is really what like sticks out to me. So the teas are fire, y'all. What was I saying? Oh, lifestyle recreator, Palm lifestyle recreator. You can also find I believe it's Marvelous Misfits over on Instagram. And then the website will be up soon so that you can purchase these teas from her. Adrian said, I love that. I am a tea fan. Same, girl. Same. Same. Like I need my mug to be fancy. I need my tea to be fancy. I love a good tea time moment. So yeah, I like that. I also like doing pour over coffee. This is not related. No one's selling coffee, but I love pour over coffee. And I enjoyed it for that reason too. Like it wasn't the like instant like Keurig coffee, like make it now, but it was a whole experience. You know, like it was just like a very intentional, mindful practice. And so I enjoy things that the reward is a great drink, but the process of creating it and then enjoying it is one that um it forces me to be in the moment, which is what I need sometimes. I just be going, 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 going. Oh, the website is live. Oh, okay. What's the website? What's the domain? So I can put that down and I can also share it. I'll drop this. So I'm trying to do my best to write down everything that I'm saying, y'all, so that I can put this list. I can put just like a quick list of everybody's information down there so that you can go to them right after this. Uh oh, wait, you might have to put it in again. Just spell it and don't do the .com so that I can just put it down. Well, that so I can say it and then, you know, put it down later. All right, y'all. Thinking what else? Oh, okay. I cannot I should have wore some today cuz what was I thinking? But I cannot let I cannot well, no, there's actually two businesses I gotta make sure I shout out. So the first one is Danessa Myricks. Y'all, I've now talked about Danessa Myricks a couple of times, but she has the blurring balm, which is basically this it's basically like a foundation, but like the lightest version of a foundation. It's like a mix of a foundation and like a tinted moisturizer, and she has 12, maybe 13 different shades. And I think I've been using number 12, and it like literally it just blends into my skin, y'all. Like it looks like skin. It looks like I'm not wearing foundation. It's so easy to use. You could literally like just put it on with your fingers. There's also she has a brush. I think it's technically a kabuki brush, that you can also purchase with it as well. She had a deal going on that was about between like 40 to 60% off of the products. And even if it wasn't on sale, it's still like well worth the money. Y'all, like it is so good. So if you're somebody who wants to do like, like a quick done up situation, but you're not trying to do the most when it comes to your makeup, Danessa Myricks, The blurring balm for sure is good. I have to try some of her other products because I've been seeing that the quality is good like across the board. So I'm gonna try out. There's actually like a tinted moisturizer type thing that I might try next. And then I want to get that brush. So, because I heard that brush is very soft. And then she also has like some chrome liquid eyeliner, not liquid eyeliner, liquid eyeshadow. That's really good too. Okay, Black Swan Shop company.site. Okay, so that's where you can go to purchase the teas from Palm at Black Swan Shop. That's SHOPPE .company.site. And if you follow her, then you also can click the link to purchase the teas as well. There's one in particular that I am super excited about, inspired by Wicked, which I still gotta see Wicked. One of my concerns though is that I it's a long movie and I might fall asleep because that's a lot of movie to watch. So I basically just be paying for a nap. But I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try it out anyway. I just don't know what day. So yeah, going back, blackswanshop.company.com, where you that's where you can buy your teas from Palm. And then Danessa Myricks, I will put her name in the description box so y'all can check out her products. And then and I am not an affiliate with her at all, y'all. I just really like the products and I love the fact that it's ran by a Black woman. Oh, are y'all laughing at what I said about Wicked? I was like, what did I say? Yeah, man, like like my fears was confirmed because somebody was like, it wasn't for me. I fell asleep, and I was like, dang, because I do be falling asleep in movies. There was actually, y'all, the last movie I fell asleep on, and I mean like it might as well had just been a bedtime story because I was knocked out. Suicide Squad. Oh, I wonder if that's gonna get me in trouble. Oh, at TikTok. Anyway, that was the last movie that I watched, and it was so bad. Like I was like, this is this is terrible. Like this is just not a good movie. And so I didn't even fall asleep on purpose, but it just was so bad that I ended up falling asleep. And I don't know to this day because I never went back to rewatch it either. So like to this day, I do not know what happened like halfway to the end of that movie. They became longer because of Lord of the Rings, really? You know what? That brings me to another memory that I have. Before I get into that memory though, let me make sure I don't forget about this other business. Oh my god. Wait, they didn't become that long until then, and then Harry Potter. Oh, I can watch Harry Potter kept me engaged though. Suicide Squad, it wasn't because it was long, it's because it was bad. Like facts. Like it just like it was because it was bad. Only reason why I feel like I might fall asleep on Wicked is because typically movies just have points where they kind of hit a lull. And so if it's not always engaging to me, then you lost me. Oh, mm-mm. That's ridiculous. I don't if at the end of the movie I'm like, dang, that was 3 hours long. I had no idea. Like that, I can handle that. Like if I just spent 3 hours of my life, but it didn't feel like it was 3 hours, I'm okay. Like I don't really be tripping off the length of movies. It's more about the how is the movie experience going to be all the way through, you know? Because honestly, I don't be knowing the length of most movies. I just start watching it, and then I'm like, either I'm like, dang, that ended fast, and then I look at the time, or if I feel like, dang, like how much of this is left because it's like I want it to be over. That's pretty much how that goes for me. Um, but oh y'all, okay, getting off track. All right, so the next business that I want to shout out, put this down for a second. The next business I want to shout out is the Yoni culture. Okay, the Yoni culture. That's YONICULTURE. The Yoni culture is another one of my clients. Okay, let's make sure my dress is still down. Is another one of my clients. She has a perfume line. She also has feminine care products that are not feminine care, but like feminine hygiene products as well, like by scented powders, which I did not know, but I definitely gotta try the scented powder. No, it's okay. I have to segment it. So I'm gonna come back to your comment, Palm. But she has that side of her business, but she also has perfumes. So these perfumes, y'all, especially dark seduction, and I've talked about dark seduction like multiple times because it is just that good of a scent. Like if you have ever smelled a perfume that makes you feel like you don't want to layer it with anything because you don't want to mess up the scent, that's the kind of scent that this is. Dark seduction, it has a blend of different notes. I think that it has patchouli in it, it has black pepper, is black pepper or like peppercorn. It has vanilla in it, I believe. It also has black cherry. And then there's another scent and there's another note in there as well that is escaping me right now. But it is like, it's just one of those scents that's just, it is very hard to describe it. But when you smell it, it's like you have to like look at the bottle like wait a minute, like this came out of that. It is great, and it's her signature scent. But she also has other scents as well that are literally, the name tells you everything you need to know. So she has a pistachio vanilla that smells really good, and I'm not a fan of pistachio. Like pistachio, I don't even know how to describe the way that pistachio makes me feel, but I'm not a pistachio fan, and I enjoyed the scent. The pistachio vanilla scent. She also has some ones out for the holiday. One of them is candy yams, which is a gourmand scent. So, the ones that smell like you could eat it, like the ones that just smell sweet and decadent and good. She has something else that she calls Get Ate Up. And I think I can't remember if that's the strawberry. I think it's strawberry something, or maybe it's the vanilla paradise. And that one is a crowd favorite too. Like people, like she describes it as if you want to get ate off the bone, this is the scent for you. And so she's usually releasing new scents like at least once or twice a month. And if you go into her lives, especially on TikTok, if you go into her lives, you can actually, like, catch her brainstorming new ideas. And so if you want a new scent, one that's not gonna be replicated by anybody else, like ones that are unique, then Dark Seduction is definitely one of them. And then also some of her other scents, they're hard to like compare to any other thing. They stand out on their own. And it's really easy to get an idea of what they smell like just based off the names. And then coming up soon, I believe is going to be in February, she's going to start having layering classes. So if you ever wanted to not only learn what your signature scents are, so if you're just getting into perfume, or maybe you've always been interested, but you really don't know how to describe what you like, which is me, then you find out what your signature notes are. She's going to start having products and classes that help you to do that. There's also going to be layering classes for people who want to learn how to layer your scents so that you can get your own custom scent every time, right? So like what type of oils should you pair with what type of scents? How can I combine these different elements to create a scent that is just me, like customize it. So she's really going to be leaning into that area starting next year, and then a little bit this year. It's going to depend on how that falls time wise, because I'm helping with her brand. She's another one of my clients. So we'll see what the timeline is going to be on the very first event. And there's going to also be a live stream element to it as well, where you can create your own custom scent. Um like she'll make it for you live. So that's something else that we got in the works. Um it's called the Yoni culture. The Yoni culture. So TheYoniculture. Yeah. It's gonna be good. I'm really excited about it. I One thing that I wanted to do with her, because and this is like gonna go into branding a little bit, y'all. So okay, this is gonna go into the branding part a little bit, because one thing that I want her to do is I really want her to lean into two things that I noticed that she does really well. Okay. The first thing is that from listening to me describe what I like, even though I did not use any of like the technical terms, because I don't know like notes like that. I can't tell you, oh yeah, I love scents that have amber in it. Like, I don't know. I don't be knowing what's in most of the stuff that I like. I just know I like it. You know what I'm saying? So she was able to listen to me describe what I like, and then give me the suggestion based off of just listening to me, right? And so I told her that that is a really good skill to have. Okay, that's a really good skill to have. Hopefully you can figure out how this can apply to you, because this is even though it's a specific example, the things that I'm describing are concepts that will help anybody. They're going to help anybody to um like specialize in a way. So it'll make more sense when I break it down. So I noticed that was the first thing that I noticed that she does well, right? Is that she's able to take someone who doesn't know very much about perfumes and listen to what I said and then give a suggestion based off of that. And so I was like, you could really find the market of people who like scents, who want to be the perfume girlies, but we don't know where to start. Like as I was like, I kept repeating that to her. I was like, that is like an underrated skill. You could literally listen to what people describe and what they say, and you can make those suggestions. And so I feel like that played a part in the signature notes workshop that I mentioned, because she was picking up on, okay, this is where I could shine in this lane, in this space, and also expand my brand from just products to services, right? So that was one part to it. The second thing that she does well is that she does a good job of creating complex scents, right? So dark seduction, like I told y'all, there is literally no way for me to really prepare you for dark seduction. Only thing that I can tell you is that it is for grown women, okay, slash men, because we also did the unisex test, and the man that tested it out, he was like, no, I could see myself wearing this every day. I was like, oh, it's a dub. It's a done deal. Like this, it worked for both. It worked for everybody. It's just a really good scent. And so what I believe makes that scent so unique is how complex the notes are in it, right? Like it's not simple. generic, it's got variety to it. And so having a way to take that skill that she has in creating an amazing scent and showing people how to customize their scents so that they can have that experience for themselves. That was where the layering idea came from. And so what we're doing is we're carving out a space that is unique for her in an industry that is definitely saturated, right? But it also is there's a lot of um not elitism. It is a little bit of that, but I don't know what the word would be for it, but it's an industry where the companies that are dominating it are, it's almost like a monopoly, right? Like to break out as a new brand in the perfume industry, in the perfume industry is not an easy task. And so this is our way of taking what makes the Yoni culture as a brand so unique and creating experiences around those strengths, right? So her ability to help people to discover what they like, to educate them. So the education is one piece of what makes her unique. And then also being able to show people how to create complex scents, how to take what you know about the notes that you enjoy and layer them, even if you don't purchase my product, right? Even if you don't purchase the Yoni Culture perfumes or oils, you can leave here geared with the knowledge and understanding of what you like. So she's empowering her customers as well. So the the I just man, I just see it going so far and it makes me excited, especially seeing how people responded when we did the content day and we were talking to them in person. But those are the things that, going back, those are the things that you want to be thinking about as an entrepreneur, right? As somebody who is either established as a brand, maybe you don't really know what your brand is yet, or you're just trying to figure it out. Or maybe it's like, somewhere in between, it's I got it set up, but it needs to be more fine-tuned, or I'm pivoting and I'm doing some new things. What does that look like? So taking your strengths and learning how to apply that to what you're doing now. Right? So like Andrea, even when I think about your commitment not only to hmm actually this is what I'll say. I really do think that the your call to certifying and teaching stylists that want to not only be good at styling, but also care and are knowledgeable about hair, like and what it takes to maintain healthy hair. Those are things that I know for a fact are lacking. And that's something that you already do naturally, and it would make the transition that you're the pivot that you're doing, that's the angle that I feel will make the most sense. So again, yeah, leaning into that strength, like all the other aspects of styling, I think that those are good to have, but that's not what makes you stand out. Like that's not what stood out to me. Even the fact that I was able to, repeat your vision from what I remembered you saying, because you had that live like weeks ago, but that's what stood out to me. So that tells me that that's something special. That's something different. And even somebody who's not a cosmetologist, that stood out to me. Like that interested me because just even as a customer or a potential customer, that is something that has deterred me from getting services, is feeling like the people don't care about the health of my nails or the health of my hair. Like that's not a concern for you. Um your concerns are elsewhere. So I think that that's a part of it. There is something else to it though that I don't know if you've discovered what that is just yet, but there's another aspect to it as well that I feel like you'll be able to tap into, but I can't tell you what that is just yet. I don't know what that is. But there's another aspect to it too that would make it unique. I all I know is that I definitely believe that it has to do with your age, and I mean this like in the most respectful way possible, but your age and your experiences and your approach to the industry. I feel like that angle is going to be a huge plus for you as well. So wherever that takes you, yeah, there's something there with that too. I felt the bridge between student, stylist, and client needed to be brought back. Yeah, I think that that's something that, for the most part, um, is a problem that people recognize in the industry, and so that's why I would like for you not to focus on pointing that out as much as talking about how your strengths, what you're strong in, can help close the gap or can help create the bridge. So don't talk about the problem, talk about the solution, basically is what I'm saying. Um and that's gonna help you not to fall into the crowd and into the like people won't gloss over it because it won't be so general. So that's something that I would definitely like to talk about one day, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. It's I'm feeling myself slowly slip away. But I want to say this last part, and then we will have completed my last video. I don't know. I feel like I was waiting for something dramatic to happen. I don't know. It feels like it's like a little like we're done. But here's what I'm gonna say. Because this is something I've been thinking about a lot, and I will come back one day and I will flesh this out much better than how I'm gonna do it right now. Okay. But one thing that I want to encourage y'all to do is stop making generic content. Okay. Like stop making the same kind of content that you see everybody else making. And I don't mean this in the sense of trends or like marketing tactics and like all the strategies and tips that you hear, but I mean this in the sense of if it feels cliche, then stay away. Okay. Cuz I see, please. Mm-mm. No, go back to your phone. Like you were crying. No, I'm not. Go ahead. One thing that I've been seeing a lot of like similar hooks, right? Or similar like topics that talk about stuff that on the surface I already know that. Like this is not you're not presenting new info. Kyrie, you got to go up for a little bit. Oh, that was gonna really scramble my brain. Okay. Um, I'm seeing a lot of content where your first response to it is gonna be, I know this already, right? Like I wish that I could give a better example. Okay, here's one that I'll say that I hear a lot, right? This will be an example of generic content for my industry. Um, the reason why you're not getting more followers is because you're not consistent, or you're just make the content. Like, how many times have you seen somebody say that, or have you heard somebody say that? And at this point, it's not a revolutionary topic, right? Like, it's not a revolutionary thing. And if you want to make content like that, by all means, go for it. But what you're going to run the risk of doing is fading into the crowd and sounding like everybody else, right? And so, one thing that I've been saying um for a while is start saying the quiet part out loud. And when I say that, I'm talking about start saying the things that people are people are feeling and experiencing, and just going a little bit deeper than the surface, right? A little bit deeper than what is expected. So instead of saying you're not growing because you're not consistent, what I could talk about is I'm you're posting content every day, and it still feels like you haven't grown, even though you've been doing this for 3 months, right? Or you've been posting content consistently for the past 6 months, and it feels like nobody likes you. No one's listening to you. No one cares. Even that small little bit, what I'm doing is, instead of going the cliche route of saying you're not being consistent with your content, I'm talking to the person who I feel might be triggered by a video like that. But the problem isn't really consistency. It is maybe that they're not actually looking at their numbers, right? You're not looking at the analytics. You're not learning a new skill, or maybe you don't really know who you're making content for. All you knew was, I just need to make content, right? One thing that always frustrates me is when people are like, just make the content, just make the content. And I'm like, okay, like that sounds cool, but people who are, let's say they are making content, but they don't really understand how often. They have no idea what their content is even supposed to be about. They're just doing what trends they saw, or what they see other people doing that's working for them. And there has been no true brand development, right? Like, there has been no goals being set. There is no direction for what they're doing now. Or maybe you don't even have all that information. You just want to know, with what I imagine I want to do and what I imagine I want to take this, where do I start? Like, I know I'm just supposed to make the content, but I real life don't know what kind of content to make. I don't know what I'm supposed to be starting with. And it feels like everything that I'm making is not reaching anyone's ears. It's not catching anybody's attention. I got this new camera. I learned all these new angles. I started editing my video with like those fancy captions and the ones where they got the emojis, and it's still like it's not working either. Or I started editing my videos when I did more quick cuts, but that's still not working. Like, what are the things that, instead of giving these very generic, broad topics, start speaking more specifically. Like, your aim should be to make content that has people saying, get out of my business. Get out of my business. Like, how did you know that about me? Why are you being so loud right now? Like, oh my gosh, me too. Like, the things like that, where it almost feels like you're reading people's minds. That's the kind of content that you want to make. And the thing that's so great about content like that is that what makes that content hard for people to create is either a lack of understanding of who they're talking to, right? Or you're challenged by the vulnerability that comes from making content like that. Because especially when you're in the early phases of building your brand, or you're pivoting to something new, and so you already have existing clients or customers, but where this new endeavor requires new research. It's a new brand, so now you have to discover who this customer is, and there's still some things that you have to build from scratch to a certain extent, right? And so one thing that happens is you're speaking very often to yourself, whether that's present day you, or whether that is you a year ago, you a few years ago. Hey, Monica, you a few years ago, and that requires a certain level of vulnerability. Like it involves you tapping into some of the things that you are feeling, or the things that you felt, or the things that you struggled with, or the things that you maybe you learned the lesson from this, but telling that story, it isn't going to put you in the best light, right? Like it's not your most shining moment. Maybe you have to share a failure that you had, or you have to share the journey, or the challenges that you had to face in getting to this point, right? And so a lot of times it's either not knowing who you're talking to, and it could be a combination of these, honestly, but a combination, or individually not knowing who you're talking to, or being challenged by the idea of being transparent, being to a degree, being vulnerable with people, because that's where you tap into some of the best ideas. Like it doesn't take a whole lot, but it does take you being honest and being real. So some of the things that I've made content on, the perfect example of this was when I was doing the Black Friday conversation. That is how I feel about Black Friday. The topic came from how I felt about Black Friday. Like, not no one else, no one came to me and was like, "Jada, I have a question about this." Like that came from up here. That was my idea. And I was challenged with the prospect of not talking about it, because I didn't want to share that part of me. I didn't want to share that um those challenges, right? And then also being challenged with the idea that talking about this and feeling this way means that I'm not the only person that feels this way, and this could be a really helpful conversation to have. So that's an example of creating something that was relevant to a lot of people, and it was relevant because I was transparent. Does that make sense? Like, y'all get where I'm going with this? And so that is how those are the two challenges that would make it hard for you to do what I just said, which is saying the quiet part out loud. Avoid being cliche. Avoid being so above the surface that your content sounds like everybody else. That's literally how you make it stand out. You lean into what makes you special. You lean into the thoughts and the feelings, the challenges, the ideas that people have, and not in a way that's exploiting them, but just in a way where you're able to connect. Hey, Tashi, that is my wish from everyone. Okay, to if the dig a little bit deeper, dig a little bit deeper, and start saying the quiet part out loud. All right. Um, yeah, that's that. That's what I would love to see. That would be an amazing gift for me this year. is to is to see more people um going a little bit further. The challenge, today is the last day. My number, I was at 684 subscribers. So I gained 40 40 something, 40 plus subscribers in the 30 days. So that's, yeah, yeah, I made it. I made it. I was saying earlier that I'm proud that I made it, but I didn't have showing up every day wasn't the hard part. It was some other stuff, but I won't rehash that. I've talked about it, but I appreciate that. I definitely did. And I'm going to spend December reflecting on it and seeing what I can take from it. So yeah, that's it, y'all. That's it. For real. Um I don't know what day I'm going to be back on cuz I would like a break. But I also don't want to lose. I don't want to lose steam because if I dip too long, I will not turn this camera back on for a while. So let's say that I'll be back on Monday. And I don't know what we're going to talk about on Monday, but I'll be back on Monday. And we will talk about whatever comes to my mind. And then if I have any new reflections, then I'll share those too. So yeah, y'all have a good Sunday. Enjoy your weekend. We're gonna be officially be in December tomorrow, which is wild. Like, what was 2024? It was a blur. And I hope that you're well during the holidays. I do know what I'm talking about on Monday. On Monday, I'm going to be talking about. I'm glad you said prep for 2025 because that is what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be putting together something called Courage to Create. That's gonna be the name of the event. It's gonna be called Courage to Create. And I will give y'all more details on what will be included in it. But this will be my challenge that I told y'all about yesterday when I was saying that I want to do something for December. So that's gonna be what we'll talk about, and I'll share what that looks like and how you can participate in it. Um, and it'll definitely be in line with like vision casting, because I'm not a big fan of vision boards. I've never really been a big fan of vision boards, y'all. I can't even I can't explain to you why. But I do like to have a vision. So that'll be a part of it. And then there'll be some other things involved in the process as well. But yeah, it'll be called Courage to Create. Yeah. So I'll let y'all we'll talk about that deeper on Monday. And I'm really excited to hear how y'all feel about the idea because putting it together earlier today, I was like, oh yeah, I like this. I like this. So yeah, that's gonna be coming up. Y'all be good. I love you. Thank you so much for showing up, for being a part of this challenge, for your feedback, for your comments, for your shares, your reposts, everything that y'all have done to help increase my visibility during this challenge. I do not take it for granted. I do not take it lightly. I just really appreciate that this is the type of community and the type of people that I'm connecting with just by showing up online every day. So I really do appreciate how you supported in each way that you have during this challenge. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed during this challenge. And I'm looking forward to where we go with this. So, yeah, we're going to keep on moving and we're going to keep on growing. And we'll see where it takes us. But thank y'all. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, like yeah, like a vision board without a board, having a vision without the board. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. But I won't keep talking about it. Y'all be good. I'll talk to you later. Bye.